What up guys, happy post-Easter and welcome to another Monday movie review. Today we are reviewing Hop by Illumination Studios, an animation studio that works exclusively with Universal Pictures. They've done Horde and Heroes of Who, they've done the Minion and Despicable Me movies, so they are one of Universal's and pretty renowned animation studio that do a lot of animated films. Hop was released in 2011. That's almost 10 years ago. And it's a movie pretty much about the Easter Bunny. Here's the thing. When I review this movie, I'm gonna give you my opinion, and this is somebody who doesn't really celebrate Easter much. I do know what Easter is about, but in terms of Easter Bunny stuff and the resurrection, I'm not a big. My family never celebrated Easter as much, so I don't have a nostalgic fondness for Easter like other people do. But in terms of nostalgia or just a feeling of like holiday spirit towards Easter, I don't have any of that. So I apologize if Easter is a big holiday for you. If it's important for you for religious reasons, or if you just love the Easter Bunny, celebrate with your kids, nothing wrong with it at all. But that's the thing about Easter. Easter doesn't have the same annotations that Christmas has. You know, there's not, besides the Easter Bunny and the resurrection, I feel like there's not as much nostalgia for this holiday. And besides Jesus, the number one mascot of Easter is the Easter Bunny. And there are not many movies for Easter, except movies about Jesus or the Ten Commandments. Sometimes that stuff may be a little too much for some kids to watch. So what do kids have to watch? You know, what cute bunny movies are there? So Universal thought, hey, let's actually make some money off this, because there's no definitive Easter Bunny movie. And so they made Hop, which to me seems like they're trying to do Elf. They try to capture that realm of holiday films that have an average person or a person of some sort in a new place, or with fantastical things happening based upon a holiday, like Elf, like Santa Claus, like Noel. But there's no Easter movie that has that same vibe or any definitive Easter movie, period. So Universal and Illumination sought out to make that movie. So this is that movie, Hop. So let's talk about it. So before we start the review, we gotta talk about the summary. Hop tells the story of Frederick O'Hare, a young man who can't find a job, kind of a slacker, who becomes the next Easter Bunny. That is said in the very first part of the movie. It's spoken in dialogue from Fred. He's like, hey, this is story how I became the Easter Bunny. So off the bat, you already know the end. You already know that he's gonna become the Easter Bunny. Whatever happens in this film, he'll become the Easter Bunny. And they also lay the groundwork for the world of the Easter Bunny. So, like Santa Claus, he has a home. The Easter Bunny's headquarters is on Easter Island. Get it? Where he makes all the candy and all the chocolate things for the kids. Just like the elves do, he has little chicks working for him that make all the candy for the kids that he delivers at night. I don't know much of the Easter Bunny history. That you know, is the Easter Bunny like Santa? Does he drop off those Easter baskets when you sleep? I don't know, but it's very similar to Santa. So that's definitely the same story that they go with the Easter Bunny. In fact, Fred, as a young kid, witnesses the Easter Bunny stopping in his house. So they make a connection between Fred and the Easter Bunny. So that's the first connection, I guess, the first foreshadowing of him becoming the Easter Bunny. But switch back to the Easter Bunny and the Easter Bunny's son, E.B., who does not want to be Easter Bunny. He doesn't want to take part in the family business, so he's just kind of like this aloof of a character. And he finds his way into the human world, and as you know, shenanigans ensue where Fred's trying to hide the E.B., and the E.B. just wants to find his own way in the world, you know. It sets up Fred's family, who are just, I'll be honest, they're kind of like an Asian family, where like everything you do, they just disapprove. So they look at him as a slacker. He's the black sheep of the family, but he's been unemployed for a year so far. And his father, his mother, his sister, his adopted sister are all, they treat him like shit because he has no job, which is kind of mean for a non-Asian family, I'll be honest. But throughout the whole story, it's about E.B. and Fred coming to common ground, and Fred deciding that he wants to be the next Easter Bunny. So, and while this is all going on, the head chick who's working at, when I say chick, not a girl, the head chick who is in charge of all the chocolate making at the Easter Island headquarters is planning a coup to take over as the new Easter Bunny. So while they're out looking for EB, lost of the human world, there's an uprising amongst the chicks to take over Easter instead of the Easter Bunny. So that is basically the plot of Hop. So I'm gonna tell you what I like, what I don't like, and everything in between. I'll be honest, there's not a lot of things I like about this movie. I appreciate the attempt, and I appreciate the try to get a space in that market for a holiday film for Easter for kids. You know, that's very admirable, because there's no Easter Bunny movie. There's no definitive Easter Bunny movie for kids to watch. You're not gonna put on Who Framed Roger Rabbit. You're not gonna put down Watership Down. You're not gonna put down Alice in Wonderland. Maybe Alice in Wonderland, but that's not really an Easter film. But there's nothing featuring the Easter Bunny. So this is Universal's chance to make an Easter Bunny movie to be just as iconic as the Santa Claus, as Elf. You know, and Easter is, I feel like, a neglected holiday movie season. So why not capitalize on that? And now what I don't like. Now the big difference between Illuminations and, let's say, Pixar, or even Universal and Disney in terms of their animated films. Whereas Disney and Pixar will have original scores and like maybe have some references to music, but they're not as blatantly, it doesn't sound like a songbook. You know, the way that WALL-E uses musical theater and Hello Dolly as a soundtrack, it works in the sort of the context, because WALL-E watches old movies that he's found, and the way that he comprehends love and relationships are through these films, the musicals that he watched. Stuck on Earth. With the Universal films like Despicable Me and even Hop and the Minions, it feels like they're just too cheap to put the money up for a composer, and it's just like you have these pop songs interwoven into the whole movie that just serve montage purposes. So that's my big issue with these Universal animated films. They rely so much on having modern music and things are just fun to watch, and I love pop music. I love songbooks and things like that. But even like Trolls rely so much on pop music, and it just, I don't know. I like music in movies to incorporate into the story or incorporate within the movie itself, and it just, for me, it's too much sometimes for these Universal animated films. There are a lot of Universal films that I really enjoy. I love the Kung Fu Panda series. I love How to Train Your Dragon. Those are probably my two favorite DreamWorks animated films that have been released recently and throughout the last 10 years. I love James Marsden. I really feel like he is one of those actors that is underutilized, or he always loses the girl in the movies. You know, he lost Lois Lane in Superman. He lost Amy Adams in Enchanted. You know, he doesn't get the girl, you know, and there's no female lead for him to bounce off of, which is kind of surprising. And he's not too old for this. He's not an old actor. But this movie was made in 2011, but he doesn't come off to me as a slacker type. He doesn't come off to me as like a lovable loser type. He seems more of someone who's got together, you know, and it's funny that recently he did a movie very similar to Hop, where he worked with a CGI character, and that's Sonic the Hedgehog. And I saw Sonic, and it was a lot better than this. I feel like it's a little miscast, and also the motives to why he wants to become the Easter Bunny don't really make sense to me. There's a scene where he upstages a bunch of kids at their own Easter showcase, and he jumps on and he gets stuck on stage with the Easter Bunny pretending to be a ventriloquist, and then go into a musical number of I Want Candy. I'm not above musical scenes coming out of nowhere. It's a kid's movie, that those things happen, but the fact that he's a grown adult and he upstages a bunch of kids, his own adopted sister, and if you're any parent who watches their kid perform at an assembly, you're gonna be pissed off, you know? That's something like, hey, get off the stage, my kid's up there. And a grown adult upstaging children, that's messed up. Like, I don't care if it's a kid's film. I don't care if this is real life. Like, if you do that, that's messed up. Why would you even do that? So that scene really bugged me. And everyone was okay with it. It was like, oh, he's doing a show. It's great. It wasn't like the show. It wasn't like the assembly was crashing where like the kids were shy. They need someone to encourage them to be able to form. If they did it that way, where like maybe his sister was having a hard time perform, and then him and EB were helping encourage her by participating with her. You know, like that could have worked. But the fact that he basically upstages all the kids and they join in and sing with him, it didn't make sense to me. But after that scene, he realizes, oh, I know what I want to do now. I know my purpose. I'm gonna be the Easter Bunny. That's his motive. After upstaging a bunch of kids, it clicks in his head that, hey, I want to be Easter Bunny. So from then on, there's a montage of him and EB, the Easter Bunny, the Russell Brand character, training Fred to be, or Frank? Yeah, training Fred to be the Easter Bunny, which is like him jumping over hedges and painting Easter eggs. And it was just a random montage, okay? So that bugged me. The thing about the CGI, like they look, when the Easter Bunny is on Easter Island and all the other characters are CGI and that's the world that they live, it looks fine. But then when those characters meet with the real life characters, like James Marsden and his family and anyone else in the world of humans, it doesn't look real. Like there's no connective tissue between the physicality of the animation and the characters. So that didn't work for me. I feel like this film should have just been animated. So those are things that bug me. Overall, what I think about the movie, is it great for kids? It's okay. Like I feel like a kid would rather watch a full animated movie. Like even the older kids, I don't see how they would watch this movie and be like, oh, I want to see this every year. Like Elf, you know, Elf. I look forward to seeing Elf every Christmas. I look forward to seeing the Santa Claus every Christmas. I look forward to seeing Home Alone every Christmas. You know, I don't know if Hop has that cultural significance, but this movie was #1 at the box office when it came out, and it's number 10 on Netflix right now of most watched movies. So people are watching it, but I don't feel like it's an iconic Easter movie. It's just something that we're all kind of settling with. But you know, that's the thing about cult classics. Even the most unpopular movies or unpopular opinions become nostalgia just because it was what was on. You know, what do you think of Hop? Is it your holiday classic for Easter? Would you rather watch The Commandments? Would you rather watch something religious? Or, you know, me personally, I think it doesn't hurt to just have this playing in the background for the kids. But to me, it's a movie that I have to watch every year. No, it's not. It's not a good movie. I'm sorry, it's just not. But hopefully someday we'll get a great Easter Bunny movie. But until then, this is all we got. But hey, that's my opinion. Thanks for watching, guys. I got more traditional vlogs in the house that I'm gonna be doing, so keep an eye out for those. If you like the review, if you want to do more reviews with me, suggest movies down below, and we're gonna do some more reviews. And hey, I want to know how you guys are doing during this quarantine, and hope you guys are keeping safe, keep your distances. Hopefully we won't be here much longer, but you know, we're just trying to change that tide. So once again, big thank you to all the hardworking people out there who are doing what they can to keep this boat afloat. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, from first responders to grocers, nurses, and medical people. Thank you. You are doing an amazing job, and I want to make sure that I can tell you that personally. So thank you again, and I'll see you guys on the next vlog. Peace.